So for the back piece, I'll be imputing my basic bodies, so like the way I did for the front. So the first thing I'll be doing is the shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement I'm working with is 7.5 7 inches, then shoulder slope of 1 inch, then I'll slant the line. Remember, I am not making use of this particular line, it's just a guide for every other thing that is being done on the pattern. So after measuring the shoulder line and the shoulder slope, I'll measure the armhole, and the armhole measurement I'm working with is 7.5. After that, I'll connect the points together like this. After doing that, I'll measure out my waistline and my under bust and my bust point. Then I roll like this. After doing that, I'll measure out the bust span, which is 4 inches, like this, all the way to the waistline. 4 inches. I'll connect like this. So after connecting, I'll measure out my dart. So the dart I'm working with here is going to be 1/2 inch on both ends, 1/2 inch on both ends, like this, at the waistline, like this. Then I connect it to the bust point, like this. So this pattern I'm drafting works for the back lacing. If you're doing a lace up bag, that's the eyelet, the roping at the back. So this is the pattern for it. After you've measured your dart, I'll measure the bust circumference. If you notice, there is no zipper allowance. I didn't include it here because I don't need it. I'll be cutting out this part out. So here I'll measure the bust circumference, which is 34. So this is 34. Then here is 1/2 inch. I replace it like this. So at the waistline, I measure the waist measurement. The waist circumference is 25, and this is it. So I'll replace this dart here. If you measure it, is 1 inch. I replace it here. This is 1 inch. Then I'll be adding my main seam allowance, which is 1 inch as well. So this is it at the bust, and this is it, 1 inch at the waist. So I'll connect like this. So after doing that, I will trace it out. This is the pattern I'm working with. I'll trace it out like this. So this is what it looks like. So having gotten to this point, the next thing you would do is the slope at the back. You don't want the back neck just hanging straight, except that's what you want. If that's what you want, then it's fine, you can leave it this way. But if that's not what you want, you can come down here with a slant, 1-inch slant, to give the back some kind of definition. So I'll come here, we have 1 inch, then I'll connect I'm going to slant it with my ruler like this. So after doing this, to eliminate that bulge at the back, the folding, you see by most people's dresses, when they rope the back, you see some gap. It's the back is not laying flat. So to take that bulge out, to correct that mistake, I'll be coming here. I'll come up by 1 inch. It all depends on the size. You could use 1, you could use 1.5, you could use 2. It all depends on the size you're working with. So for this size, I'm using 1 inch. So I'll slant it in like this. I'll quickly cut that part out. So this is what it looks like now. This is what it looks like. So after doing this, to get the spacing for lacing, the back lace, I'll use 3 inches. You could use 3, you can use 4, you can use 5, or you can even leave the whole bag open. Well, for this dress, I'm using 3 inches here and 2 inches. I want it to taper down, the lacing, the opening, to keep reducing till it reaches the waistline. So this is what I'll do here at this point. I'll connect the points. So cutting this out as well. So this is what the new back piece looks like. So for the dart, if you want to cut it out on your pattern paper, you can do so. Or if you want to take it like this and hold your dart on your main fabric, you can also leave it like this. You can leave it, but if you don't want to, you can just take it out. So I'm cutting mine out like this. Cutting mine out like this. I like to. Oh, I'm out of tape. I'll put it back. I love placing my paper tip at the back of the pattern paper so that I can still see my lines. So put it like this. See, this is the last tape I'm using. This is the last. So after doing that, this is what it looks like in front. So if you want to have boning channels at the back, you can also create it here. This is the right time to do that. This is the right time to do that. So let me mark this out really quickly. This is the measurement. This is the seam allowance. So when you do this, when doing the boning panels, if you want to do 3 boning panels, it's up to you. If you want to do 2, it's also up to you. So, but I will be making use of two boning panels, so I use here and also use here. So I'll connect my lines like this. So I'll label this B1, I'll label this B2, I'll label this B3. Then cut out. So this is what we have for the back piece.